come tonight. All that life used to cling to in the night, chasing down this road I go again. Don't let it back, don't let the ghost of what you had into the day. Just stay away, just stay away. a stone cold feeling that I'm on my own. Got some blackout isolation and it's right down to my bone. Well, let's hit that bright light boulevard. I'm on my way back home. Well, let's hit that bright light boulevard. I'm on my way back home. Well, let's hit that bright light boulevard. I'm on my way back home. I'm feeling down on 66, got my juices high, and get my kid. I ain't heard of you since I left town, boy. And I'm running free for the rust to go, stopping down is just getting old. Moving on, I'm on my way back home. Nobody's ever caught me. Can't see no way to stop. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. I'm feeling down on 66, got my juices high, and get my kid. I ain't heard of you since I left town, boy. Nobody's ever caught me. Can't see no way to stop. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. And I'm running free for the rust to go. Stopping down is just getting old. Moving on, I'm on my way back home. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on, keeping on. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on, keeping on.
Sorry.